Annenberg School at the University of Southern California has found that of the 111 directors hired to make the top grossing movies of 2022, just 9% were women. Doubts about ambition, misconceptions about talent, and an industry gender imbalance may be some of the reasons why. Despite the headwinds, Northern California's Tracy Hayes is making headway in that field, her latest project being out for just about a month, and she is here in studio with us now live. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So your latest project is Blood, Sweat, and Cheer. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the title alone. You're just
right?
Like,
exactly. I was a cheerleader in high school, so
okay, you got it. Yeah, I was not, but it's so funny. It's inspired by a real woman who impersonated her daughter, took her name, went back to high school to live her dream that she never got to chance to be a dancer on her cheerleading team, and she had to drop out because she got pregnant. And so this film was inspired by that. Obviously, it's a little bit of a dark and twisted comedy, so there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's definitely not, based on the real event, but it was inspired by, and it's just a lot of fun. And
yeah, we can't give everything
no,
away.
I can't. How much spoilers am I allowed
right,
to say?
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Can't give everything away.
No.
Well, given the odds that still seem to be against female directors in the industry, why do you think that you've been able to break through this way right now? And then what advice would you have to somebody else who's looking at you and says, she's made it, I want to do that?
Yeah, I attribute just a lot of it to my work ethic from the very beginning. My parents were really supportive of my dream and wanting to be a filmmaker. I found it at a young age. So, in high school I was already tinkering with, film, DV cameras, and I just never stopped. I went to film school and was able to just start a career, and maybe not necessarily as a director right away, but I just think if they, put their head down, and I was able to just meet the right people and keep working for over a decade in the business, and I was in the middle of all those rooms and those decisions that were being made, and I think I finally had the right opportunity and was given my first feature, and then obviously this is the next chapter for me, the next film. So in terms of advice for women that are looking to get into the business, I think they should just know that they're never too young or never too old to pursue what they want to do. And
did you hear that part, everybody? Never too old to be chasing your dreams.
No.
That's awesome.
And I think that that's a big part of, unfortunately, the narrative that as young women in the business, I think people might not take you as seriously when you're younger, and then as you're older, it's sort of the reverse problem of how they're too old, they're past their prime. So not letting that affect them and just going with your gut and knowing that they have a voice and they have something to tell.
You've received accolades. You've been nominated for Directors Guild of America Award. Advocacy group Women in Film has come out this year professing disappointment about the lack of nominees for that group with its latest feature film awards. What's the number one thing that you think could change that? If you could say, okay, I'm going to press this button, that's going to fix it. What would fix it?
Having women that are in executive producer at studio levels at bigger production companies that are the gatekeepers, starting there, because those as women, championing other women, if that started at that level, those doors would be more open to women that are emerging in that space.
Okay. All righty. Everybody hear that too? What needs to change? Did you hear that? So you're a film director. Do you have a stance on the writer's strike that's happening right now in Hollywood? We've been reporting on that for several days. Yes. Obviously, just the regular viewer who may have never heard about it is starting to see the impact with some of the shows that they're not seeing. So how do you feel about seeing really your colleagues in this industry out on the picket line?
I completely understand what they're fighting for. I think it's really important. The DGA is also up we're right up against our negotiations to begin as well. Okay. So I think we're all together. I'm on board, and it's fully supportive of what they're doing, and they absolutely are entitled to be paid a living wage.
I think there's a perception that anything you do in media makes you a ton of money, and so this is a bunch of rich people who are complaining. Is that the truth? Does this make you a ton of money off the top when you're getting started?
No, I mean, there's people different levels, so there's definitely those people that are more established that have been doing shows for a very long time, and those people are, benefiting and have that, making a lot of money. But for people that are emerging, I think it's absolutely, people are. I was just talking to some writer friends who are trying to pay rent, and it's a reality. They're not making a lot of money, and it takes years to really break in.
So Blood, Sweat, and Cheer has been out for about a month. Where can people see it? And then any hint on the next project?
Absolutely. Blood, Sweat, and Cheer is currently streaming only exclusively on Tubi. It's a free platform. There's, it's to watch the movie. And in terms of what I have next, I am in talks about a sequel. So.
Oh, already. Okay, it's just been out for a month and talking about a sequel already. Well, how exciting. Thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck on your endeavors, and thank you for also sharing kind of the steps, the inspiration for somebody else that could follow in your footsteps. We appreciate you.